Nah, I'm not ready to leave yet. He raised his voice. I'm looking for some party favors. Don't want to go home until I find some. Interest flickered in her eyes. Like what? Ecstasy. Do you know if anyone's holding? His dance partner's response was swift and unexpected. Previously eager arms dropped from his shoulders, annoyance streaking through her expression as she took an angry step back. Seriously? You're into that crap? Ugh, why does every guy I meet end up being a total tweaker? With a loud, unladylike expletive, she huffed off and abandoned him on the dance floor. How ironically delightful. Rejected by a chick he hadn't even been into. Torn between groaning in frustration and chuckling with amusement, Reed once again threaded through the mob of sweaty people. He'd intended on returning to his table, but he stopped in his tracks when he spotted a familiar face in the crowd. Son of a bitch. Was that Darcy? It was hard to be sure, thanks to the wild blinking of the strobe lights and the darkness obscuring her face every other second. Without hesitation, he changed course and headed in her direction. A part of him wished like hell that it was simply a case of mistaken identity. Because if it was Darcy, then he'd just witnessed his best friend's girlfriend kissing another man. No. Wait. He squinted, realizing the couple he'd glimpsed wasn't actually kissing. Their faces were close, but they seemed to only be talking. And yup, it was definitely Darcy Grant. Now that he was 5 feet away, he was clearly able to make out her features. Wide-set blue eyes, high cheekbones, that sexy mouth. He forcibly shoved the last thought out of his head. He wasn't allowed to even think the word sexy in relation to AJ's girl. It was a total violation of bro code. Then again, who was he kidding? He'd broken the code 100 times over when it came to Darcy. All those dirty, dirty thoughts he'd had about her pretty much ensured he'd be going straight to shitty friend hell. At the moment, though, he was more concerned with why AJ's girlfriend was flirting with another man. Maybe it wasn't his place to interfere, but damned if he'd let his best friend get played for a fool. AJ Walsh was the closest thing Reed had to a brother. The two of them had grown up together in South Boston, attended the same schools, played on the same sports teams. Reed would take a bullet for his buddy, and he knew that if their roles had been reversed, AJ wouldn't hesitate to stick up for him. Squaring his shoulders, he marched up to the couple's table and donned his best death glare. "Hey, Darcy," he said loudly. Her head swiveled, eyes widening when she recognized him. "Reed!" Her voice came out shrill, and there was no mistaking the guilty note ringing there. He shifted his gaze to her companion, a lanky man with pale blonde hair and a smug grin. "Can we help you?" the guy demanded. Reed experienced a case of instant dislike. Scowling deeply, he jabbed a finger in the air and snapped, "Get out of here." The guy's jaw dropped. "No way, man. The lady and I were in the middle of nothing," Reed finished. "You were in the middle of nothing, so get lost." Darcy's companion turned to her with visible wariness. "Is this your boyfriend or something?" "Or something," Reed answered for her. Several more seconds ticked by until the blonde guy finally hopped off his stool and glowered at Darcy. "You should have fucking told me you had a boyfriend instead of wasting my goddamn time." As he stormed off, Reed usurped the empty seat, rested his elbows on the table, and looked at AJ's girlfriend with cold eyes. "What the fuck is this?" He could barely get the question out, he was so pissed. Christ, how was he supposed to tell his best friend about this? AJ would be devastated when he learned what his girlfriend was up to. "We were just talking," Darcy retorted, sounding as mad as Reed felt. "Bullshit," he shot back. "Whatever this was, it was leading toward a hookup, and we both know it." "So what if it was?" Her blue eyes blazed. "Yeah, maybe it's kinda soon, but what I do and who